Hi, I'm Leslie Farouk, and I am hoping to reflect upon my experiences as an international teacher while taking a trip down memory lane and learning a few new tools for the job, like Screencast-O-Matic for the recording of this video, and also my foray into video blogging, or vlogging as it were. I've recorded this about 10 times now, and each time I'm not happy with it, and on the 10th time my husband said, "Gee, you sound bored," so in an attempt to be less boring, I'm trying it for the 11th time with feeling. My husband and I took a job with American School Foundation in Monterrey a little over 8 years ago. We were excited because we'd never really been to Mexico before other than Cancun Hotel District, and that's not the same as Mexico itself. We met up with returning teachers and administrators in McAllen, Texas, and had a nice meal with them. And then the next day, it was driving to Monterrey, approximately a 3-hour drive. I took a lot of pictures. I didn't blog about it at all, and I have been feeling a little bit like I should have, because what a rich set of experiences it has been. Also, telling for anyone else who's thinking about taking the jump into international teaching. My first and most exciting feelings were about the ecology of the area. I'm surprised to see how green it was back then, but knowing how much it can rain when it does, I guess it's not a shock anymore. These trees, I just couldn't get enough of them. Later on, I learned that they're Joshua trees, and of course U2 has an album by the same name. As a botanist for an environmental consulting firm in Ontario, I knew a lot of species, but I was seeing all these new things I'd never identified before, and I was totally pumped. As we drove along the Pay Highway, we noticed some of the features included what makes Mexico's economic engine turn. In part, we saw the gas flares of a petroleum plant, and we also noticed that there seemed to be a prison. Of course, everything that's in Mexico is everything that's everywhere else. All of these different facilities are required for society. Once we started to see more mountains more frequently and taller ones, we started to realize this is probably getting into the outskirts of Monterrey itself, city of mountains, king of mountains. We followed somebody the entire way. She very graciously kept us safe and made sure we got to where we were going. We also started to admire some of the cultural and structural features around us as we drove through what we now know to be Central Monterrey. We were excited to learn new things about the culture and the heritage. We were also very excited to see that we were driving towards what seemed to be a vertical rise, only to find that it was a tunnel, our first tunnel through a mountain in order to get to the elementary campus of American School. It's since moved to be located with the campus we would work at, but at the time we were driving to a building to do some registration processes, and then we would have to get back in the car to get to where we would actually teach at middle school, high school, on the outskirts of town. I don't even really remember who we followed between the elementary campus and the middle school, high school campus. I just remember thinking, gee, is this done yet? Because when you're doing a one-way trip for the first time, you don't know any of the landmarks, and so it does seem to take forever. Of course, we were excited to see this bridge, which reminded us of a similar bridge we had seen in Spain. And so we thought, gee, this is a good sign. Finally, we started to see even more and yet again different mountains. You can turn yourself in a circle 360 degrees in Monterey and see mountains different, every one. They're beautiful, and even 8 years in, I do not get tired of the views of this city. More to come.